Let's Talk Hookup Paul Mistake Cortez tournament. Those guys are going to be having a great time, and man, do we have a fun one for you today. We're going to be talking fishing. It is your show. If you want to call in and talk to the master about fishing calicos and swim baits and plastics, Corey's got your back. You got any info tackle-wise, I'd love to share whatever I can with you. You want to talk about trips, you want to talk story, whatever it is, today is your day. It's a no-agenda show. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
The reels that Southern California anglers have been waiting for are here. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 40A and 50A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. Shimano has increased the fishability of the larger Talica models by reducing rotational resistance at high drag and improving durability in critical positions within the reel. The all-new Talica 40A and 50A now boast Infinity Drive, which employs 2 drag washers housed on the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load by as much as 40%. The new Talica is built around a more compact, cold-forged machine aluminum one-piece frame. Plus, there's also a new higher high gear built with a Southern California angler in mind. The new Talica 40 and 50A are available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Introducing new Power Pro Max 8 microfilament braided fishing line. It's built for offshore anglers seeking smooth casting and control. Power Pro Max 8 features an 8-carrier Spectra HT construction that cuts through current with ease for precise vertical jigging with a 25% thinner diameter. Available in white and metered 4-color for trolling spread control and precise jigging depths. It's stronger, smoother, and thinner. Power Pro Max 8 is now available at your tackle retailer.
Take a closer look at the Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport. You'll see adventure, discovery, and even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability to go anywhere. Get your ideal combination of power and capability to handle whatever comes your way with the GOAT modes. That's goes over any terrain. It's time to see Ford in a new light. New inventory has arrived. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer to take a test drive today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and one of those shows, Rick, that's just fun and free-flowing, and wherever the texter wants to take it, the caller, right?
That's it, man. We had nothing going. We're excited to have a fun day today. As we mentioned, Pete's out of the studio down at Paul Mistake Cortez, and just like we were met up here with some challenging weather issues this week, those guys certainly were too, but today looks killer, man. Yeah, today looks like a really nice day for those guys. We talked to Pete down the line. Sounded like they're waiting for the port to be open. But Corey, you were showing me on the Windy app this morning. We were kind of checking in to see how Pete's weather is going to be. There's wind kind of all around them in the grand scheme of around, but the 30-mile bubble that's sitting right over the top of the East Cape was just slicked off, blue, no wind, looked beautiful.
It did, actually, yeah. Like Cabo itself looked like a pretty strong wind. It's been such an active, tropical season, really.
Wind machine this year.
Yeah, and a lot of times that could be a good thing for us, right? Like the push from down below, and, we call it quote-unquote push of yellowfin or whatever, but it's been so active and wind from our north and just kind of a strange
the only way to describe it.
And it is what it is, man. That's why we live in a beautiful place, and eventually, it all turns roses and flowers, right?
You roll with the punches. Yeah. Unfortunately, these last couple of days, and I'm sure we'll hear some reports later on, there was some heavy wind, and it was. The wind wasn't great, but the wind was met with some relatively heavy sea state, some kind of big swell, really close together. Not the type of thing that you want to be operating in, especially in the dark out to the west, fishing bluefin. And, as that bluefin often does, when the weather was starting to come up, that bluefin fishing got good. Again, there's something about the weather that seems to make those things bite a little bit. But then when it gets too much the other side, it's kind of difficult for the guys to work at nighttime. And so anyways, I know that there was some good fishing to be had, at the islands, yellowtail in the dark on squid. So our fleet just has such an amazing way of making lemonades out of lemons. And it seemed like it really happened again this week. There was good tuna fishing to be had during the week and in between the little spats of weather that we had. And we're kind of experiencing a little more right now. So we're just going to
roll with it.
Wait and see, man.
And you mentioned that yellowtail at the islands. It's I assume you're talking San Clemente.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that, oh my gosh, there was the War Heroes on water and they did really well there. Like my friend Eugene Roberts on the Me Bella.
Okay. Yeah.
And they actually took the whole thing. Yeah. Last year they took the whole thing. This year they did like, I don't know, half of it or something, but a lot of it was right there.
Yeah, they were top boat again. Yeah.
And a lot of it came from right there.
That's so cool.
And beautiful yellows, like 20 to 30. I don't know if there's any bigger, but I mean, 30 pounders.
And there was a little bit of sea bass around. And what a great place to do it. And
the squid. The squid's been there so long.
A high 20s, a 30-pound yellow with your anchor down on the bottom. It's just a true, it's trophy, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to see. And, between China and Pyramid, I mean, that's a beautiful place to tuck in and get it done.
Yeah, get away from a little weather, get some sleeping down, let the sun come up so you can work around and see what you got to deal with. So yeah, I mean, so there was some good tuna fishing to be had. There was some good yellowtail fishing to be had, and we're going to wait and see how how it continues. But it's been a fun season for sure, and lots of things that kind of, there's still good yellowtail fishing in La Jolla. I saw the New Seaforth had another great day, this week, and so it's fun watching that local fishing continue to happen. Deepwater rock cod is at play now, so at least at a Fisherman's Landing, we've been seeing those morning trips go. And the other day we cracked up. I don't know what those guys were going to do later. Jason called in. The boat left. We had a kind of a busy morning. There's several long range boats going. We were kind of busy, so lost track of a little bit of time. But a phone call comes in over the radio, and it was the Dolphin. And you almost like, oh man, I hope everything's all right. Like why would they be calling this early? And he goes, well, I don't tell you guys, we're done. Like we have limits of, and they had a bunch of big chili peppers and big reds. And he's like, what can you do? We're done. We're done. And
how cool is that?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see that great cod fishing with that deeper water opening up down here. So, and as you know, it's been a great year for calico bass in the best way. When tuna fishing is good and there's yellows in La Jolla, the calico fishing seems to not get the headlines, but the guys that are, that persisted in it, there was some great bass fishing this year. Just a good year.
It is all the way around for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's just a great place to be. And like yesterday's show, having the Diamonds in here, Jason and Jamie, Jason said it a handful of times, like we are living the good old days. These are the good old days.
That took no more convincing. Like I'm so hyped to go up to Santa Barbara and fish with those guys. They did such. I mean, I was taken in what they were putting down, man. It sounded great. Like I really want to go do that.
It's kind of the hidden. Well, it's not really hidden, but most people come south.
Yeah,
they come fish to the south, San Diego, Seaforth, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah, so many of our listeners live in Orange County and LA,
and come to Dana Point.
And a couple hour drive to go fishing is just what it is. Of course, we're heading down to San Diego. Let's go. You do the same thing, go in the other direction. 2 to 4 pound rockfish on the regular. That was just the average with a bass rod and a lead head and a viejo. Like, dude, come on.
And Cy, we mentioned him yesterday. He's been a good friend for decades, but he has always told me that is like the untouched, like land of giants.
Yeah.
And brown rockfish. I mean, we mentioned it yesterday. Yeah. Like that's 3/4, 1 pound, like local. That's a good one.
Yeah, totally.
He has told me for years, like 2 to 3 pounders, like shallow water, 50 to 80 feet.
Yeah. Biting the lure.
Yes.
I loved it. Trust me, I drank everything in that they had yesterday. That sounded really, really cool.
It's legit. So if you ever do get the chance to go up there at a Santa Barbara Landing.
No, he was, Jason was talking about it yesterday, the calico bass fishing. And it was funny from what I was reading between the lines.
It's an afterthought.
It's a hunt. Exactly. Exactly. Here, in San Diego, you'd send, a calico would, if you were putting everything on the pedestal, the calico's a little elevated over the rockfish fishing. It sounded like, and you know better than anybody, it sounded like the calico fishing in their world can be fantastic. And they're like, yeah, that's pretty good. But, you got to fish several baits to catch them. It's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
It was really cool. And it just goes to show how good things are up that way. But have you done much fishing that far up, calico bass wise?
It was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I had the skiff up there a couple times. And it was during my whole tournament career, which lasted 1 season. It wasn't for me. Anybody that knows me understands, like, I don't want to have a thumb on me to tell me when and where and what time. And, that's just not me. And that being said, though, I was in the top 3, like first, second, or third in 3/4 of the tournaments, right? And I was fishing with Eric Ben, and he was probably the reason why. But we had fun together. But fishing up there, so we didn't do any pre-fishing. We fished, or we might have one day, and it could be really fun. Like there's a lot of shallow water kelp, but it's fishable because you don't get that west swell in there. Do you understand? So it's like, it's not surgy, and there's no threat of being on the boiler rocks.
You're starting to get so far up the line that the shape of California is just much different than it is.
You're in the hook and protected, right? Exactly. So it's there's areas of kelp and in 30 feet and shallower, and boiler rocks. We fished all the way up to Hollister Ranch, like almost up to Conception.
That's cool.
Oh, it's really cool. A neat zone.
And you're starting to touch the northern range of that fish, right?
You are, but
you still got a ways.
I've been told. I've been up in vacation in Monterey Bay a couple times, and staying up there more towards Santa Cruz. And they get them up there. Sure. There's areas of kelp. You see sea otters, and they get the rockfish up and boiling like calicos, but they do get areas of calicos that actually infest the areas of kelp there. Cool. So they,
a little ways, a little north.
That's pretty far north.
Yeah, no doubt.
But old timers in my life, old timers have talked extremely highly about fishing out of Santa Barbara, Trancas or Tahigas, Naples, and these zones, and some of them are shut down with the marine reserves, right? But there's a lot of areas open. That's cool. I'd love to get up there on a trip.
You had me fired up.
We need to, Pete, if you're listening.
Yeah, we need a Let's Talk Hookup trip to the works.
We do. Yeah, absolutely. That's one I would drive up to, and just to be a part of the show and enjoy the fishing and help Jason and not that he need the help, but it's just. It'd be fun to do.
Hey, you can label it however you want. As long as I get to go fishing with those two, I'm in, man. That was really cool.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, if you missed yesterday's show, it's worth archiving on the app there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was fun. The other big thing that's been happening this year is it's lobster season, and lobster has been off to a great start for the recreational hoop net guys. And Cory, you're amongst the guys that really like to be in the water and dive in, and it just sounds like it's been certainly a very good start to the season. Lobster fishing will always be the same way. You talk to a hoop netter that has done it for multiple years, and his gear is pretty dialed in, and he's got his hoop net management down, and his lines aren't floating all over the place, and he knows where he likes to hoop. And you ask that guy, and it's wide open. And you ask the casual guy, and it's been pretty good. And you ask the beginner, and it was okay. You know what I mean? It seems like it's been one of those kind of years that there's plenty around that even if you've never done it before, you're going to have some shots. And the guys that have a pretty good handle on where they like their gear to be sitting on the bottom, and those guys have had a tremendous start to the season.
There's, I think, a couple of reasons why. I think the price overseas for the commercial fleet is down.
Yeah.
Right? Like to China. Like that's tariffs or whatever it might be. Maybe they're tight on money and tariff and all that included. They're not buying as much. So the price is down. I think the interest in the commercial level, I might be wrong, but I think the commercial interest is down. So there's a lack of pressure on that side. Okay, number one. But number two, we've been dealing with a little bit of swell. And not a lot, but 3-4 feet, down to 2 feet, back up to 3 or 4. Super, not dirty water, but clouded and particulate and junk in the water. It helps to crawl. Like they're moving. They're interested in feeding.
And do you think it's that they're getting blown around in their holes in their caves, or is it more that they know that surge is stirring up the things on the bottom that they like to eat, and that's why we're out trying to take advantage?
It's very simple. I mean, it's very simple. The cleaner the water, less likely they want to leave because they're going to get eaten by a sheephead or a moray eel or something, octopus. Something's going to grab a hold of them. Yeah. So they just hold tight. They wait for the complete dark. Very few moments of activity.
Yeah.
You add dirtier water to the equation and they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They have no means to stay in a cave or a ledge or anything. They want to get out and crawl and eat. And I think you hit it. Part of it, it's stirring up food. It's stirring up activity. But I think the whole key to the thing is it creates a comfortable situation where they can crawl out.
And because I know in years past you used to hit the hooping really hard. It was something at one point in your life that was a big thing, and then like a lot of fishermen, hunters, whatever. There's ebb and flows. When man, this is what I loved doing, and right now I love surf fishing, and next year I really am going to do a lot of focus on pop or whatever it is. But there was a time when hooping was a big part of your game.
It was, Rick. It was a big part of my life, and a push for Promar. I mean, this Promar, how do I say it positively? Because it is positive. Yeah. It's positive for all the anglers. It was a negative for me.
Yeah.
I made all my own hoop nets. I did all my own. There's a craft to it.
Sure.
And a technique and really something that goes into it. Like it was a technique. You had to learn how to do it. Promar made it easy. The ambush style net, anybody can do it. Totally. Anybody. Like you can be listening to this show and have an interest in doing it. And you can get a couple nets, a handful of nets, spend a few $100, and you're going to get lobster.
You will catch.
Like I promise you.
Yeah.
And if you're not, come to Tackle Day and you can talk about it and make it easy for you. The ambush style net, Promar has streamlined it.
Yeah.
Jim Salazar was the pinnacle of starting to make it easy for the common angler.
Totally.
Yes.
And now you have a company who puts a ton of focus into like the killer blueprint got laid down.
Yeah.
And now you have a company that dedicates a lot of money and a lot of time staring at that gear and spending a year to figure out how to make it fish even better the following year. What if we did this? What if we made these bigger? Hey, there's a lot of guys fishing deeper now. What if we made a heavier gauge wire? This works great. Let's change the bait system to this way. They just constantly are improving. It's like the Talicas and the Stellas where like, how can you make something that's perfect? Oh my God, wait a minute. The new version's even more perfect.
Right.
Like they really made a difference.
Like completely streamlined it. So for a person like myself, and there's a couple others too I talked to on the side, that it's not attractive to me because there might have been 25 people on the bay doing it. And if you're Scott Sherman listening, you can laugh at me, right? Like there was only 20 people back then. Yeah. Now you go out on a Saturday, it looks like
20 people on a spot.
Right. That's exactly it. So it kind of turned it off for me, and a friend of the show, like Scott Sherman, he lives it and sees it, and he does well. But there could be 60, 70 people out on a weekend night,
In the old days, there was so many things of a flat laying hoop net, that how your bait was in the hoop,
everything,
and how it hit the bottom was, if you just chucked that thing off the boat and drove away, like you might as well keep it on the shore, like making sure the inner ring was set perfect inside the outer ring, and how you pulled and how you slid up on it and how shallow you were. You had to be even more stealthy. And there was a lot of factors,
Rick,
that Promar was able to just erase for a lot of people.
Seriously. I mean, if you're listening and you two things. One, you've invested and not had success, or the success that you're thinking about, talk about it, because it's something that should be doable for you, like completely doable. We're fortunate to have our bays, San Diego Bay. How about the whole entire Santa Monica Bay? I've never dove, I've never hooped or anything in Santa Monica Bay. It's a non-commercial, or the whole lee of Catalina.
Right.
Sorry, Pete. Right. But the whole lee of Catalina Island, you could hoop as shallow as 20 feet or 120, and they get them, man.
It's cool.
Like that's a zone.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, as you can hear, we just got a great show today. And again, I just want to stress it. This is your show. We're just going to have a great time. It's very easy for Cory and I to hang out and talk fishing because it's something that we love a whole bunch. But if you've got questions about freshwater green bass fishing, if you got questions about the bays, your trip to Cedros, tackle, whatever it might be, long range and more, we would love to hear from you. If you got questions about weather and trip planning, all those things, we're just going to have a great show today, and we're just looking forward to a lot of fun, your stories, your phone calls. We're going to have catch reports. It's just going to be a great show, and today it's all about you. Perfectly said, Rick. And you want to join us? We're on The Fan, on 97.3 The Fan, for the next 2 hours, the entire show. You want to join us, 833-288-0973. And Jeff's waiting for you at The Fan there. You can join us that way, or send us a text via the app. And
I mentioned the app, and like archiving and listening to yesterday's show with Jamie and Jason Diamond and previous shows too. You can listen to them all there. You can pretty much basically on demand, right? Like you can be driving and listen and stop, go to work, come back out, and
totally
listen to the rest of the show and do it that way.
Catch the first half of the first hour in your drive in, and the second half of the first hour in your drive home. It's a pretty slick way to do it.
All that on the app, and you can text us on the app. Make sure you do leave your name and telephone number. At the end of the show, we're going to flip a coin, and we're giving away a full day trip on the Mission Belle, man. How about that with Cameron? And
really cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I saw a great photo from Cameron with one of his first, offload catches of lobster. Cameron also is a local commercial lobster fisherman.
Yeah.
It was always fun hearing from him. And I got to talk to him earlier in the week, and he and Brian had Brian Kihara had just finished their day. And I called, those are some of my favorite resources and great friends, question wise. And they had just come back from fishing and then saw a really cool picture of Cameron and his son, Jack, offloading their lobsters over at the Tunaville market. And, it sounds like they're off to a great season. You hit the nail on the head. Sounds like price, regrettably is down for our commercial fishermen, which we're, always bummed because those guys work so hard and they've been used to having a nice high price for their catch. But, there's an upside to it to the customer, and you can go and get their product at Tunaville or all the great places, Point Loma Seafoods, things like that. There's awesome opportunities to go out and get live lobster at what will likely be a great cost, and you'll know that you're supporting local families. And if you do that, you'll be buying lobster from Cameron, who's given us a trip to go fishing today.
How cool is that? So again, we're going to be right back, not only on 97.3 The Fan, YouTube and Facebook Live, but the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 1st, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We'll have great savings from Daiwa on Saltist, Saltiga, and the entire electric reel lineup. A fantastic offer on the Proteus rods and SK jigs, too. Over 20 manufacturers reps, including Daiwa, plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, huge raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Up to 60% off. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 1st.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
This is Pete Gray to tell you about my fishing buddy Dan Hume and his amazing company, Hume Termite. As you know, Southern California is infested with termites. It's a constant battle for anyone who owns a home, and that's where Hume Termite come in. They're strictly termite experts. They start with a thorough inspection to find out why you have termites in the first place, then recommend sustainable treatment options that work. Hume Termite has been controlling my termites for years, and I have recommended them to numerous friends. Did you know 99% of termite companies are commission-based? Not Hume Termite. They're all salaried employees, and with a thorough inspection, they'll help you solve your termite problems, not sell you something you don't need. Let Dan and his crew earn your business through customer service and trust. It's swarming season, and now is the time to call Hume Termite at 760-598-2201. They'll come out and give you honest answers to solve your termite issues. Check HumeTermite.com.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day and full-day trips daily, perfect for families and the novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips, targeting the best of seasonal catches. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com, where you can purchase tickets online and get more information on the trips available, or call 619-223-1627. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And just Rock Cod Rick and myself, and having a good time on Let's Talk Hookup this morning, and just sharing stories, and could be from the past, present. Maybe you're going on a trip and need some help, and
maybe your ears were burning and you're Scott Sherman and you heard about how good the lobstering has been and how many people you have to now share the lobster grounds with. Exactly. Good morning, Sherm.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, guys. How you doing this morning?
We're doing good, buddy. Good morning.
I heard my name mentioned and talking about the lobster fishing, so I figured I better get out there and call you guys and talk about it. It's been amazingly good here this season. We went out the other night for 2 nights in a row. First night we only got 8 for 2 guys, but I mean a couple 5-pounders in the mix, and threw back over 100. Woo. And then the next night we went out and threw back over 100, and we had 3 guys on the boat. We came home with 18 keepers. So it's been a really good crawl.
That's
beautiful.
Awesome, Scott. And how fun to, I mean, there's a lot of things out there, but boy, and Cory, I know it's something that's near and dear to your heart, but you know, we go for the fun and we go for all the things, but this is one that the harvest is extra special too, to get to come home with, 18 killer legal lobsters. That's a really cool one.
Man, are you kidding me? Come on, then have like your lobster boil, like a crab boil. Come on now, the whole family, and right?
Doesn't get much better. And you were talking about, the old days compared to now, and the amount of people and the gear and that kind of thing. The amount of people on the water is so much different than it was back in the old days with the flat nets. I mean, back in those days, all you had to worry about were the sea lions messing with your bait, and not, 3 boats of divers and 10 hoop netters, and then they're all trying to sit close to each other because they think you're sitting on a spot that must be the only spot left in the bay to get lobsters. So
right.
That's kind of how it works. Find your own spots. There's so many spots that are available out there if you just do a little bit of looking around, and then you can try and get away from some of the crowds as well.
Yeah, and one of the things that people don't realize too, Scott, that I'm sure you do, is the bay is so full of them. Like there's so many in the bay, and there's not the predatory action like sheephead, right. and
yeah,
they live like part of their house. The structure is the eelgrass. Like that's just where they live. Mm-hmm. Like that's a structure that has created a home for them, and they crawl in the sand. Like you don't have to find that necessarily the hard bottom.
Your net doesn't have to land at the entrance of a cave.
No, it doesn't. You can set 10 of them in a straight line, and from 20 to 40 feet of water, and you're going to catch.
How important is the bait? Like, how important is what you bait them with? Like, is that number of importance 1 through 10? Is it more important where you set them and how you set them? Like, where on the scale in both Scott and Cory, in your guys' opinion, where does that fall?
What do you think, Scott?
I think it falls around in like a 5 or a 6, depending on how good they're crawling. I mean, if they're out there moving, it really doesn't matter. If they're not, good bait helps a little bit. I like fresh sardines. I like mackerel, and I really like, after tuna season, is you take all those bloodlines from the bluefin you've been cleaning and save them and put them in the freezer. I tell you, those bluefin bloodlines seem to work really well.
That's good dope,
man. I mean, you're hitting it on the head.
Dope. I think you could think about it just like yellowtail fishing. Like if you happen to go on a day when the yellows are up and splashing everywhere and biting everything, the level of surface iron that you throw and the level of sardine that you throw probably doesn't make nearly as much difference as it does on a mediocre day or a slow day. So, and that's a big part of everything, And also
and Cory, Cory mentioned it too. I think the water clarity and the current movement is so important. I mean, nights where it's a big moon and super clear water, they don't seem to move nearly as good as it does on a night with no moon and dirty water.
And Scott, you hit it on the head. And we've had that since the opening. We've had just that. I mean, it's only a 2 to 3 foot. It could be up to 4. It's not very big, but it's a little southerly push, and it's strong, and it's creating dirtiness and particulate in the water. There's something that has been said in the past too about the rain and the fresh water push. Well, that usually comes with a storm front that dirties up the water as well. So it's a hand-in-hand parallel.
Yeah.
It is.
I one of the things that I like so much about it are the nuances of trying to decide what to do next. And obviously, just like fishing, all of us love a day where it's wide open and you put your gear down and you pull your hoop net up and it's full of big lobsters and you're just high-fiving. Of course, those are the best nights. But a close second to me is slow start, scratch fishing, and trying to decide, because it's not like fishing bass where, well, this is usually a good kelp edge, and there was enough current that we should have got a bite, but we made a good pass through here, and we didn't catch enough. So we're gonna boogie. We're gonna pick up and move. And moving when you're fishing there's so little risk involved. But hooping's a different story. You've got it takes some time to pull all your nets out of the water and stack them back on the boat and reset everything. Like if you're going to make a move because you don't think your spot is right, you're investing some time. And the other thing that always gets you is you just don't know if they just haven't started crawling yet. I mean, I'm sure you two have been through it 100 times. Like, how many times have you put your gear down and you made 2 or 3 passes and pulled all your nets and you saw next to nothing? We went through all the gear and we had a couple of shorts and 1 or 2 legals. And then the third time through, they're all loaded and you're done just like that. And had you made the move early, maybe you wouldn't have had that great a fishing. And it's just the what ifs is something that I really like about it.
I mean, last year we had it like that. We went to a spot that normally when the tide first starts to move is when they're crawling really good. And last year it wasn't for that last hour of tide movement before the slack tide that they really started to crawl. And just like you said, Rick, the first 2 sets were just dismal, and then you're thinking about pulling, and next thing you know, they're all loaded and they're really starting to move. So sometimes patience pays off.
That's good stuff, Scott, for sure. And it's something that's so, I mean, I've said it 3 times already. It's so accessible to the normal angler, and it's a resource that we have in our backyard. Literally, I mean, if you live in San Diego, we have San Diego Bay, Mission Bay, Oceanside Harbor is a good place. It doesn't hold many boats, obviously, but then you go up north, Dana Point, all these harbors, Newport, Long Beach, and Los Alamitos, like that whole Long Beach and LA Harbor is incredible. Like a really good zone for them, a lot of big ones, and the whole Santa Monica Bay, like we talked about, that is incredible. That whole area,
it's fun.
We're fortunate.
Scott, glad to hear that you've been on the bugs this year. It seems like it's been a good start to the season for you and your crew.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Let's hope it continues.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate the phone call and getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup this morning. Appreciate that very much. I wanted to start reading a fun text. It says, good morning, boys. I love this style of show. Cory, we're getting into some of my favorite calico seasons. From now to January have been my best big fish finding years. What is your cold water approach? I like heavy current with kelp laying down on the bottom, slow rolling a swim bait just above it, but I'd love to hear your approach for the fall and winter stuff. And that's from Rory in Lakeside.
Yeah, Rory. Rory's such a cool guy. I don't think you realize it, Rick, but he worked on the bait receivers with me.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way cool.
Back in the late 80s and somewhere in there anyway. Super cool. And I think when I was on the bait boat, he still continued for a short time. And he's lived over on Catalina Island. He's a cool, just great stories and everything. But the calico fishing, I mean, that's the only thing I can say is the bigger you throw, the more you're going to weed out the 2-pounders, and the greater chance you're going to get the 5+ pounder. That's the only thing I could tell you. The bigger, the better.
Okay.
But there's a fine line there, right?
Sure. Because that's a tougher call for everybody to make, because wintertime, you don't necessarily as often see your 50 fish days, fish flipping on the surface, a big ball of anchovies is pinned up against a horseshoe in the kelp, and you catch one on every cast.
The fall time, you could see that though.
Sure.
For sure. Like the small sea bass and the calico, and it comes back to the water temperature, Rick. It's that 63 to 66 degree. Like when it starts perking up in the spring, it's the same thing on the back end in the fall. When it gets to that 62 to 66, you see the same thing, but it's a shorter window.
Yeah.
And it's not as robust, but you see the same thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's nice about that time of year, especially what Roy's talking about now, getting all the way into wintertime, is you get back to just having a handful of boats on it. You described that same spot on the 4th of July weekend, and there's 50 boats and half are drifting and half are anchored. And it's, there's a lot of hoopla. You can go out on a morning like this, especially if it's a little overcast and looks a little funky, and
there's nobody there.
The whole kelp line to yourself.
That's exactly it. Yes.
I like it.
And it can be productive too, but definitely bigger, the better. But you're going to get fewer bites. It's just it's having the confidence in what you're doing, Rory. And that's really, really what it comes down to. If you're happy with only a handful of bites and catching maybe only a couple fish, you're probably going to get a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about speed? Do you have to slow down because they're slowing down, or do you still speed up because you take it away from them, or is that just not a black or white answer?
No, it's not defined really.
Okay.
No, I mean, that's like yellows. Like if they're revved up and souped up,
sure,
let's speed it up a notch.
Yeah.
Right. And
it could be cold water, but if they're fired up, who cares?
You hit it on the head right there. It could still be 62 degree, but there's bait up pushing and there's that activity. You could pick it up a notch for sure.
You got me fired up.
Oh, dude.
I'm ready to go right now.
I'm ready to go to Cedros and experience it.
Well, why don't we go down to the East Cape right now? We got Pete on the line at our Palmas de Cortez tournament. Pete, everybody having a good time?
Good morning, Pete.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Rick, Cory. It's a great show, man. We love listening to you guys. We're sitting here listening to you on Facebook and the app, kind of going back and forth, and everything's sounding great and looking great. So thanks for being there, and fantastic. Well, update here on Tropical Storm Raymond.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it pretty much fizzled out. Didn't get a ton of rain. Got some rain, but not a ton. But this morning, absolutely no wind, and there's still some remnant clouds running around, but not a breath of wind. It's just absolutely flat, calm, beautiful. Still a little lingering swell coming out of the southeast, but they're finally getting on the boats here this morning. The port was closed, and they just opened the port. So literally, they're loading the boats right now. It's the same time down here as it is up there, and they were supposed to leave at 6, and we had a lot of anxious anglers kind of standing around and going, "What's going on? What's going on?" So I went down to the pier this morning and talked to Annabelle, and he said Chucky and Bobby gave the okay to just go, but none of the captains would go until the port captain released them, and now finally the port captain has released them. It's kind of a strange deal here. There's 2 ports. Of course, we're in La Paz County. Of course, Rancho Leonero was in Cabo County. So you got to wait for the port captain either in Cabo or La Paz to release. And, it could be 2 completely different weather conditions, right, in the place. And I was talking to Chris Moyer last night. We had dinner with him over at Chris and Judy Barrick's house, beautiful house here in Los Barriles. And he just says it's ridiculous that we don't have our own port captain because they have the largest fishing fleet in Mexico right here in Los Barriles.
And the weather that could be happening in Cabo San Lucas proper can be a completely different world, as shown on the windy chart today. Like
it's offshore.
Yeah, we were looking at your weather today, and the weather in Cabo proper it's breezy and probably not the nicest day. You zoom in on Los Barriles, it's beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous, yeah. And same in La Paz. You look north to La Paz, and they have a lot of wind up there. So so they finally said, okay, they convinced them, let's go, and their boats are going out full speed ahead right now, getting bait and stuff like that. And again, I think I talked about it yesterday. Team No Bananas is still leading with a bunch of tuna.
Shocker.
And anticipation, but there's some stiff competition. There's some very, very close competition. We ended up with 14 teams, not 13. Like I said yesterday. So we have a pretty good group of people and have a lot of, thanks to Dave at Statewide Stripes, we have some nice cash to give away. And Peggy Top is giving away $1,000 in honor of Rich Top for the Big Fish Rich Prize.
I love it.
We got a trip to Palmas de Cortez. We got gift certificates to Fisherman's Landing Tackle we're giving away. We have Costa sunglasses we're giving away. So at 5:30 this evening, we're going to be giving a lot of prizes away for sure. But I will say this, as beautiful as it is down here, when there's no wind, it's hot, man. It's so because of the tropical storm, it's so humid. It's 89% humidity right now.
Oh wow, that's up there.
Yeah, and so it's steamy, and it's only 7:30, so it's going to be a warm one today. I think a margarita and a little pool time today is in store for our
smart
group.
Man.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be a good day for the guys here on the boats. It's looking good. I mean, the fishing has been very, very good. There's been marlin, roosterfish, dorado, Not a lot of wahoo heard, but there are a few wahoo running around. So you never know. And there's been some roosterfish too inside, even as warm as the water is. But fortunately the storms lowered the water was 94 here.
Jeez.
And it lowered it significantly. The upwelling from all the wind and the waves and stuff like that upwelled a lot of colder water. So the water's cooler. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm going to guess high 80s now, which is much more conducive and that's kind of why that storm broke apart, is it didn't get sucked into that warm water, thank God, into the Sea of Cortez. But that being said, there's another one brewing off the mainland coast that may hit next weekend. But hopefully it'll take the same thing and get that wind shear and push it out to sea or drive it to the mainland coast like this one went over there. So hopefully they're done with because they're supposed to get some north wind. And John Aaron always say once they north winds start, which are supposed to start like Tuesday, that usually the hurricane season is done. So we got to hope for their sake that's done. But I got to tell you, Palmas de Cortez, what a beautiful place. Playa del Sol right next door. They have 24 pickleball courts here now. They have a huge pickleball resort, which is a big deal. In the winter here.
You realize Brandon is going to start fighting you to now host this trip if he finds out that there's 24 pickleball courts down there.
Well, Peggy Top's friend Denise wants to play pickleball, and I said, "Yeah, we can play pickleball, but in this weather, no, thank you."
Yeah,
it's like being in sweat, right? But when it cools down, when that north wind starts blowing, it's beautiful weather down here in the winter. So, it's pickleball's huge down here because they get a lot of expats and with snowbirds and stuff down here that come down and love to play pickleball and kite surf and all that kind of stuff. So it's a completely different place. But the interesting thing is a lot of the restaurants are closed here in the summer. And they're just starting to open up. They kind of open up at the end of October. And this town turns from a sleepy little village to like traffic on the streets of Los Barillas.
I just can't picture that.
Busy in the winter now.
I just can't picture it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And what you can't also picture is the number of new houses that have been built down here is insane. I mean, it's just crazy. People have discovered this beautiful place. But that being said, Palmas de Cortez is still this beautiful oasis right on the beach with the largest, and there's concentration still on fishing and just enjoying the place. And they still have that beautiful pool and pool bar, and then you can walk to town very close. So it's still just a super, super great place to come and visit, go fishing and hang out. And, their season is probably fishing season will run, maybe a little later here this year, into October, late October, early November or something like that. But yeah, we'll be back next year. This is our 31st annual Palmas de Cortez tournament. Next year, 32. And we certainly hope everybody wants to come back. If you want to go, make your reservations now, get your boats set up. But we're giving away a ton of prizes tonight when we have our ceremony at 5:30, and a lot of great people that come back year after year because it's just such a wonderful place. We're going to try and dive. We have plans we were going to scuba dive down at Cabo Pulmo today, but we delayed it a day, and fortunately Pilu at East Cape Divers was still open tomorrow, so she's going to let us know. But it looks very, very good for that. We're going to be able to dive tomorrow morning at Pulmo. So, and then we fly home on Tuesday. So all good times here in the East Cape. I'll give you the report next Saturday on the tournament results, and you guys have a great show. I'll be listening, and keep up the great work. Thanks for covering.
Awesome, buddy. Well, great, Pete. Glad to hear it. Glad everybody's having a good time. Good luck to all the fishermen in the tournament today. And yeah, next week we'll look forward to hearing the whole wrap up. Appreciate it very much.
That's definitely good times, Pete.
Right.
Hey, we're going to be right. Good stuff. We're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. More stories, sharing whatever you want to share when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and 97.3 The Fan.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check gamakatsu.com.
Saturday, November 1st, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. And it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts and over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Daiwa, Salty Crew, Shimano, Iser, and Power Pro. Don't miss all the great seminars, the huge raffle to benefit Rollo's kids, the popular casting contest, and of course, the huge sale. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 1st. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hi, this is Captain Ray Lopez, owner-operator of the American Angler. I've spent more than half my life aboard the American Angler along with my partners Brian and Lori, developing a team that's as good as it gets. I've been fortunate to spend time on the ocean with so many fine people that I look forward to fishing with. We can't thank you enough for being part of the American Angler family, and if you haven't joined us, we love the opportunity to meet you. Text or call Lori at 619-223-5414 or check AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com.
Hi, this is Tommy the Fishmonger from Tunaville Market and Grocery and the TV show Fishmonger. I've known Yosef Husseini for over 20 years, and he's the expert when it comes to real estate. He's helped me with estate planning and multiple estate questions that the average guy like myself just doesn't understand. Yosef's not only a fellow angler, but he's an amazing realtor that specializes in helping us in the angling community find their ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free, no obligation home evaluation now online from Yusuf by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address and you'll get that report fast. Yusuf is a SoCal real estate guy to go to. He's helped me and many of my customers and family members to find what they are looking for in a home. He understands the real estate market like no other, so take it from Tommy the Fishmonger. Yusuf's the real deal when it comes to your real estate needs. Go to SoCalHomeEval.com and I'll see you at Tunaville Market and Grocery.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and having so much fun, Rick. Just a free form, just let it fly kind of show, right?
My favorite, man. So cool.
And who knew that the lobster would be part of the interest, right?
That's it. That's why I think it's so much fun. Yeah, it's been everything. It's you know, Pete always calls it calicos and tuna, but it's just whatever you want. We have a good time hanging out, talking fishing.
Yeah.
It's like it's what we'd be doing if it was after a day at work, hanging out, BSing with your buds.
It's really what
exactly
it is.
What today is.
And if you want to join us, we're giving away a full day trip on the Mission Belle with Cameron, and 2 ways to do that. You can 833-288-0973. You can call Jeff there at the fan or send us a text via the app.
Yeah.
And
you got it. Speaking of good fishing, we got the catch report. We got the man, Captain Brian Woolley's on the line here this morning, Corey.
Yeah, good morning, Woolley. And it's brought to us by Norsk Lithium, and it's the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Norsk delivers unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics powering. Norsk batteries are packed with cutting-edge technology. Upgrade your marine power today. Set it up the system with Norsk Lithium. You can go to norsklithium.com and you can see everything that you can get set up right there. Go to the trolling motor doctor.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, we got him on the line. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good stuff in there, man. It's awesome. These freestyle shows that you guys run every once in a while. You know, it's all you could play the tape back over the last few that you've done, and it's all relevant to like where you're at on the calendar when you guys are doing the show. You know what I mean? So it's cool how it all just kind of fits. Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah,
perfect.
And
yeah, it's good stuff. Man.
Sure, you got some stuff to add to it too. I'm anxious to hear, man.
We do. You know, we felt the squeeze this week a little bit too. You know, you're talking about that cooler water and changing our approaches and stuff. For sure, we had that through our stretch of beach. You know, that weather obviously from the storm had some part in our week with our water temps dipping quite a bit here for what we're used to, 61 to 63. We did see a little bit of 60 a day or two with that wind, but some anglers that made the adjustments were the ones that caught some nice fish. So guys made the adjustments, put some little bit heavier sinkers on, got down on the bottom, fished some strip bait, strip mackerel, strip squid, or even the whole squid, caught some fish, sand bass, a few calico bass like that on the bottom. But guys targeting a sheephead, with the shrimp. Did okay in the cooler water as well. So the surface action on the calico bass was slow as a result of that cooler water. But again, kind of like you were talking about that confidence, if you have a good color swim bait that that you can make 30 casts and eventually you're going to, catch a fish with it. The guys that stuck with it and made those commitments to their casting and their abilities and their confidence colors were guys that did see some nice calico bass and stuff like that for their efforts with the artificials this week.
That's legit.
Days when we had a little bit of sunshine later in the days and the afternoons, we did see a little bit of uptick in the calico bass action near the surface, more like Carolina rig country, mid-water approaches. But yeah, the surface stuff was a bit slower for sure for us this week with the half-day guys. 3/4 day fishing had taken advantage of this excellent cod fishing out in the 100+ fathom areas. Again, weather dependent for sure. The 14-mile bank was great though on those mild weather days when we had, there were some days where it was glassy out there where that wind, that storm hadn't quite reached us yet. So double dropper loop fresh dead squid that was the money maker for some of the guys out there this week. And we got some nice fresh dead from the guys on the Fury because they've been fishing with live bait, that live squid. But the bank rockfish, the chilies, all over that whole fresh dead squid. Float pitch guys did really well out there too. Again, the 250 to 350 gram jigs, guys fishing like 30 to 50 pound braid, small setups. It's fun fishing out there on these rockfish. The colors that were hot this week: whites. Obviously, I just talked about the squid, so that white stuff fished well. Blue and pink, and the red. So those were the kind of color combos that were catching the rockfish out there. So pay attention to that if you're coming out fishing with us this week. Days with bigger passenger loads, like on the weekends, the 3/4 day focus was on more of the local rockfish grounds, the stuff outside of the 50 fathom line down below off Camp Pendleton. Great catches of reds, boccaccio, chilies, some nice whitefish, sculpin folded in that as well.
Nice.
And then the lighter jig approach, 100 to 200 gram, did well for the guys that wanted to fish that. And then, like I mentioned, out there at Clemente, the Fury, been doing, dodging weather this week as well. But the yellowtail fishing in the mornings on that squid has been excellent. Marcus sent me a few pictures this morning of some fish on the deck already. 20 to 25 pound fish on that live squid and yo-yo jigs. The bass fishing there a bit slower with the weather as well, but good scores on the mixed bottom fish like some cod, whitefish, and whatnot. Sent their anglers home with some nice bags of fillets. So approach changes, you can still catch plenty of fish. So guys want to hop on a trip this week, give us a call. Our number here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web as well at danawharf.com.
What an awesome report, Willie. That was killer. I mean, good fishing to be had. And well, you said it best. Sometimes you got to pick and choose and persevere through it, but good opportunities and boy, the right size gear and colors, everything. That was awesome, man. We really appreciate you taking the time and hooking up all our listeners with such killer info.
Right on, guys. Yeah. Also, don't forget, you guys want to come fishing half price Tuesdays today. They run that half price deal on both the half and 3/4 day. So jump on that.
And do you need to make a reservation beforehand to take advantage of that, Willie?
I would for sure on Tuesday. Yeah. I mean, they're getting out with, 25 to 30 people. It hasn't been packed full, but yeah, for sure make a reservation. And then, also make a reservation during the week too.
Exactly.
As the loads are lighter, guys will see, there's only 5 people, but they really want to go. They won't make a reservation. And then, who knows what happens, but
I know the guy,
make a reservation either way.
I know the guys in our ticket office just, they say the same thing all the time. There's always a handful of guys that want to go that don't make a reservation. And, the trip has, 4 or 5 guys on it. It's super close and everybody just waits and, nobody makes those final reservations. And then the morning of the, captain and crew decide they got to scrap it because there's not enough to go. And then there's 10 guys that all would have shown up had they make it. It's just so important to just throw your name down as a reservation. It just not only helps the boats, but the other passengers. And it's a big part of this time of year of local fishing.
Totally. It's just exactly, it's part of the game. Got to do it.
You got it. Hey, well, a great job, buddy. Appreciate it very much. One more time, shoot us a phone number if somebody wants to book a reservation and come fishing with you.
Cool. All right. Number at the office here, 949-496-5794 or danawharf.com.
Awesome. Great job, buddy.
We're so fortunate, Rick. I mean, to have the family run landings like at Dana Wharf there. And like we had Jason and Jamie, they run Santa Barbara Landing. And I mean, just all of our Fisherman's Landing. It's just a hometown
Sport fishing's in a good spot right now.
I think
There's
so.
really good people behind it. There's really good people taking care of it. It was great hearing Jason and Jamie yesterday. And, they were talking about how Jamie kind of is the VP of that northern section of SAC. You're talking about Dana Wharf. Donna Kalis from Dana Wharf. She's the Orange County, LA, the warden. We got Ken down here. It's just, we're in a really good spot. We've got such a great backing from CCA. Like, yeah, I'm with you.
It's really cool. Yeah. And having all that and just, yeah, we're in a good place. And the fishing, I mean, like we mentioned, it's the good old days of sea bass and halibut and up there in northern. And dude, the bluefin fishery, where would we be? I mean, we hate to see a 2-fish limit when it came. It's the best thing that ever happened, right?
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
Dude, it's continuing on, and some big ones. And we've got a whole nother hour ahead of us on Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to be on Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live. We're going to have a great time just free-forming it, Rick and myself, when we return. And we've got Gundy Gunderson, Surf Report, when we come back on 97.3 The Fan.
Do you know why 1 million customers visited Summit Gasoline last year at the San Diego Sports Arena? Because they give you the lowest price on fuel. Great service and easy access, even for trucks and trailers at their 24 pumps. Summit is known for the best price on ice, too. Almost half the cost of any other vendor. 25 pounds for just $3.99. Martha and her crew love fishermen, and they'll prove it by giving you 100 pounds free with a 35-gallon fill-up. Summit offers over 40 snacks and drinks to choose from for only 89 cents. And even a line of hand creams and lip balms for 89 cents, too. Summit now proudly offers locally made burritos and sandwiches. Made fresh daily and ready to go wherever the current takes you. Summit just upgraded their car wash. And for a limited time, get a deluxe car wash for only $6. Grab the wife's car, grab a cheap sandwich, and make up for the day on the water. Summit Gasoline. Lowest prices, friendliest staff, easy access, and free ice. What more can you ask for?
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
Saturday, November 1st is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Seminars by saltwater experts, huge raffle to benefit Rollo's kids, great deals on tackle, and top tackle manufacturers like AFTCO. Save huge on AFTCO cyclofluorocarbon, clothing, gaffs, tackle bags, fillet knives, belts, harnesses, and more. It's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Saturday, November 1st.
Haida Gwaii Safaris, formerly Queen Charlotte Safaris, invites you to experience the magic of Haida Gwaii Islands, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, I'm Valerie Hoprich. 25 years ago, I fell in love with these incredible islands, the breathtaking scenery, the warm community, and the truly phenomenal fishing. That passion inspired me to open my own fishing lodge, just steps from the Sandspit Harbor at Haida Gwaii Safaris. You will be fishing in pristine, pressured waters for Chinook, king salmon, halibut, lingcod, and much more. Plus, be surrounded by untouched beauty. We pride ourselves on creating an unforgettable venture that turns first-time guests into lifetime friends. You will come for the fishing, and you will come back for the memories. We are booking now. Call us at 1-877-815-2892 or visit our website, qcsafaris.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. Haida Gwaii Safaris, where adventure and friendship meet.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hey, it's Chris Ello from Gwen and Chris, the voice of reason on an otherwise crazy and out of control show. Listen for yourself. Gwen and Chris, weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station. This program is sponsored and produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Cory Sandin.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Let's Talk Hookup, coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, and on 97.3 The Fan. Having a great time here this morning. One of my favorite shows to get to do with my buddy Cory. It is the free-for-all show. It's the freelance show. It's the whatever you want to call it. Pete's down in Mexico, enjoying a great trip with our Let's Talk Hookup crew, having a tournament, the Let's Talk Hookup tournament at Palmas de Cortez, and they're having a great time. And Wayne, our other member of the family, is out in Japan, having a good time with his fam, and it looks like he's doing a full eating, sightseeing, just awesome tour. So stoked for Wayne. But man, you got Cory and I hanging out, talking fishing, having a lot of fun. And today is a day for you. We're just freelancing, talking about whatever it is you want to talk about, lobsters, local, tuna fishing, whatever it might be. We got you covered today, and we've been having a lot of fun. And there have been some great phone calls, great catch reports, and some great text messages to go along with it, Cory.
There has. And if you want to join us, we've got this entire next hour and being on 97.3 The Fan. Jeff's waiting for you. I'll give you the telephone number if you want to join the show, 833-288-0973. Or there has been a ton of text, right?
Oh, it's
and
crazy this
you
morning.
can send your text through the app. It's only through the app. It's a one-way message system. Make sure you leave your name and telephone number, because at the end of the show, we're giving away a full-day trip on the Mission Bell. And as promised, Rick,
we got him, man.
we've got the man. It's Gundy Gunderson, our surf guru, and has a surf report, and can't wait to hear it. Good morning, Gundy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing great, Gundy. Good morning.
We've got changing conditions. You know what strikes me at this time of year, this season, we've had so much uneven stuff, but we don't see these Santa Anas forming or these offshores like we normally do in the fall, And that's the problem with changing weather patterns, is that what do they change to,
Sure.
And that's kind of like the thing we got going here. Water temperatures are still holding up. We've got like 62, 63 on the lower end up Santa Barbara. And then there is a little bit of 65. And that's plenty warm. So as I've said before, I think the weather is going to dictate where we go from here. But we are seeing that shift to cooler water, more perch, a few more halibut. And that's something to keep an eye on, as the halibut catches took an uptick this week. The bait, there's more bait inside in the cooling water. The Corbina are still on most of the beaches, but really hard to get a bite. The bites that the guys have been getting on more exotic baits, or like mussel or bloodworm or ghost shrimp, things like that. That's what you really got to think of kind of late season when you go after those Corbina. And there's some real nice quality fish. We had a 4-pounder in the report here. And the other thing, we had that hurricane push up the coast, and normally you'd see water temperatures kick up when those hurricanes slide up, but that hasn't been the case either. So just file it in that file of this whole season. It's kind of a head scratcher, you know what I mean? Hook Line Sinker reported the best fishing again off Santa Barbara, a slowing bite, but still some decent perch catches, especially out west there. Those Gaviota was one spot that was real good this week. And then a handful of legal halibut. That's improving. The Goleta Pier was still a hot spot for those guys. Really good bite on short to just legal sea bass. And these schools are coming up in the evening. The lighting on the pier is drawing the bait, and the bite's going into the night or early in the morning. If you get there in the dark, they're biting. So these guys are throwing white flukes, spoons, things of that nature. And the bonita been on the pier too, and some quality fish. They had some real nice ones popped up early in the week, and one guy landed a 9-pounder. That's a real nice bonita off the pier. They said they come tantalizing close to the pier, and then they go away, and some guys were chasing them down in kayaks. You know how that whole routine goes, watching those bonita,
That's crazy.
On Say again.
Oh, that's a jumbo bonito.
I'm wrapping my mind around a
What?
9-pounder on the wood. How cool! How cool that is. That's a big bonita. That's a big bonita. Period.
What pier was that from again, Gundy?
That's the Goleta Pier.
Okay.
They said on one day it was a school of 4 to 9 pound fish is what they estimated.
So sick.
And like I said, they come real close, and the guys casting at them, and then a few guys launched kayaks and made some catches. So that that bonita thing's kind of fun or whatever. And then let's move south. Just Fishing reported still some nice Corbina on the South Bay beaches there. They've got 64-degree water, 65. They took a 4-pounder on a bloodworm off Hermosa, a mix of 5 to 10-inch barred perch. A few legal halibut in the catch, according to Big Fish in and around L.A. Harbor. They had a 34-inch fish taken off Shoreline Drive on a white fluke, and that's a pattern that develops in the fall when the bait gets in the shallows there. The guys start finding fish along Shoreline Drive. Pacific Coast reported scratch fishing off North County beaches, mostly perch, a few croaker, the occasional Corbina, still seeing plenty, but tough to get a bite. The top catch, though, was a 5-pound short fin Corvina taken out of the surf off Cardiff on a flash minnow. So I've heard some good reports of those short fin inside the harbor in the lagoons and stuff. So despite the slower shore fishing, that short fin bite's been pretty darn good. The guy's getting them on top water, flukes, and that's another bite that really thrives under the lights when the bait gets under the lights at night. That can be a really good night bite. One of my buddy's kids got a 7-pounder down in Mission Bay a few weeks ago at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's a good
Remember
one.
when you could do that? You could fish at 2 in the morning, no problem.
Right. I got better things to do with my night now, Gundy.
My 2 a.m.s are
4 hours
changing
into
a diaper or filling a bottle.
Yeah. It's an incredible fishery, though. That is, I mean, it's migrated from San Diego Bay and Mission Bay, and they get them in Newport and in the lagoons, North County. It's pretty special.
Cool fish, man. They bite a lure, they chase bait. It's just it's a cool fish and a cool fishery.
They come out, they'll come out onto the beaches, and I've seen them in Ocean Pier down Sunset Beach down there. And they're interesting species, like a ghost species almost, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Exactly.
You really have to target them, but if you target them, you can make some fine catches.
Gundy, I want to add something to your bonito thing. So when I was in Pacific Coast Tackle this past week, they're catching from San Clemente, Dana Point, San Clemente, to Long Beach. In with the bonito, they're catching green jacks.
Yeah, that is it for sure.
And Walt in there showed me a picture. I took a picture. I'm showing Rick. And they're legit like some type of, is that what is that?
I mean, that's all I know it as is a green jack.
Yeah, total green jack in with the bonito.
I'm trying to think of what
it to me. I'm going to describe it to you. It looks like a yellowtail, but a little more like compressed from head to tail, and it's not like a Jack Crevalle shape.
It's not a Spanish mackerel,
but it's a total green. It's a jack, and they call them green jacks. Yeah, and so those are in with the bonito, and they're catching them off Belmont Pier. They're catching them off the piers. Yeah,
I can't think of. I think we hauled them a couple times in the bait years ago, but I've never seen them mixed with bonita and catching them. That's pretty rare.
Yeah, and that came from Walt at Pacific Coast Tackle.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you this photo, Gunny, just so you see it, and then we'll maybe put it up on our Let's Talk Hookup Instagram so everybody can scope it out. But no.
I'll do a little research and I'll tell you more about those things next week.
Well, good job, Gundy. I love your report. It's always full of good information. And there was a text from Bruce and Lemon Grove. Wants to know when you're coming in studio.
Hey.
All right. Oh gosh, I got to do that.
You do, man.
Yeah, I got some time next month. Maybe I'll give Pete a call and see if we can get in there.
Gundy, it'd make our day, buddy. That's awesome. Well, I
I'd love to see you guys.
We miss you, but sure love hearing the reports every week. And I know how much effort you put into these up and down the coast, and we love it, buddy. Appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, good freelance show. I love it.
Thanks, Gundy.
Yeah,
appreciate that very much.
And this report has been brought to us by surfishtackle.com, and it's for all your surf fishing needs. Go to you can check it all out at Surf Fish Tackle.
Speaking of surf fishing and tackle and Gundy's great report, I'm really excited. We have Bill Varney is
Super
going
cool.
to be giving one of the seminars that we're doing at Tackle Day
So
this
awesome.
year. It's tentative right now on which boat, but we're looking like we're hoping for the Tomahawk. It just really depends on fishing season.
Right.
Come the first Saturday in November, hopefully, for Captain Dave's sake, that boat's out and fishing away. But if it's not, we're hoping to do the seminar with on the Tomahawk with Dave. But if so, we're going to have the bait tank flooded, and Bill's planning on bringing all the different types of surf baits, ghost shrimp and sand crabs and bloodworms and all those things.
Super cool.
Showing how rigging the whole nine. And Bill gives a fantastic surf fishing seminar. You mentioned Jim Salazar. It's the same thing. Bill's the guy that wrote the book, The Light Line Revolution of Surf Fishing, and it's just an awesome, awesome time. I'm really looking forward to having Bill down here.
I have to say, Rick, you do an awesome job of putting together the seminars and the speakers and the people that want to share the information, and Bill does exactly that. And if you're not familiar with surf fishing and haven't done it, maybe have a grandson or, a daughter or son that you want to take and do it, it'll be a great seminar because he really makes it friendly and fun.
Yeah.
And it's pretty difficult to go surf fishing and use the right baits and light line and not catch surf perch.
Yeah, it's the most accessible.
It is.
It's free. You catch a lot of the times you catch your own baits. When you're buying baits, they're inexpensive. The gear does not require a 2-speed and a high-end rail rod. You can do it on the low. You can do it when you want. It's a great way to introduce kids to it. It's the type of fishery where you could just go down. You said it best, son or daughter, fish for an hour, fish for an hour and a half, and when they're ready to go, you boogie, and you don't have a ton invested in it. So yeah, it's going to be a great seminar. We're really proud of it. Seminars is like something that we're really proud of at Tackle Days, and it's something I try to put a lot of effort into, and Bill does an awesome job, and we're looking forward to that.
Only the best, Rick.
That's it. In addition to Bill this year, we're going to have Captain Frank Lopresti doing a kind of a long range. We called it a lifetime of long range fishing, and it will be as much information as it will be story, and a lifetime career of getting to be down there and all of those things. We have our co-host in here, Brandon Bono. From Two Fish Jigs. He's going to be doing a seminar with the whole team from Two Fish, himself, Bodan, Captain Matt Bralla from the San Diego and Captain's Concepts. Those guys are going to be going over surface iron fishing, the difference in jigs, like when and why you pick a jig for a situation and how you fish it and the gear you fish it on. So that'll be really cool. The Walking Fishing Encyclopedia has been dubbed by our great friend Grani Kovac. Steve Carson is the guy, and Steve does an awesome job.
Steve is an awesome. He's a gentleman.
He'll have done 2 more. He's on one right now. He'll do another one. 2 more long range trips before Tackle Day happens, and Tackle Day is only a couple weeks away. He's on a 7-day right now. He's got another trip coming up. So fresh info, and he does such a great seminar. And one thing, if you don't know about a Steve Carson seminar, the amount of stuff he gives away during his seminars are like, if you're a raffle collecting guy, that's the one. In the audience, he's always like, okay, pop quiz. What did we say was the best lure for wahoo fishing? Okay, that guy gets a couple of half-day passes to go fishing. You're going to win a pen, a pen jig, that kind of thing. He's really, really fun and very entertaining, gives a lot of good stuff away.
Super neat, Rick.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
He's good, and Bill Varney, like we mentioned, and Lopresti, man, if you ever, like just a wealth of just everything.
Yep.
And he loves sharing it and the stories, and
he's not the easiest guy to get pinned down. Frank's busy and has a lot going on, and all the boats and all the landings and all the businesses. And I was really excited. And, we hit him up the first morning and he said, all right, well, let me think about it. I got a lot going on. And then a little later he goes, okay, yeah, man, I'll do it. So we're really pumped to have Captain Frank. He's just the best. It's if you haven't attended one of those seminars, he's the man. It's
Rick,
really cool.
If you just looked at the seminars, it's badass. If you put the seminars aside and you look at the sail end of stuff, it is hands down ridiculous.
It's our best.
If you're into buying that stuff, it's an incredible deal. Some of the stuff you probably can't give away, but I don't know. What do you?
It's good. We try to put, this is our event, and this is the event that we put on, and we love going to PCS shows. We loved going to Fred Hall shows. We love doing Day of the Docks. Those are all big things, and they're all an opportunity for us to get out of the shop and see our customers and hopefully score a great deal for them. But this is our event, and we put this one on, and so we really try to make this our biggest deal of the year, and we try to make it more than just a sale, and so there's a lot that goes along with it, but the sale is what people are there for, and every single fishing reel that we have will be on a discount. There'll be free Spectra promotions. That's kind of the big one. CalStar rods at an amazing discount. There's a couple of years ago you couldn't hardly get the new one, and now thanks to Chris and John and the whole team at CalStar, we have an amazing opportunity, a really big inventory, some brand new stuff, some very custom stuff, so we're looking forward to that. All of our jigs, every jig that we have on the wall, if not better, will be buy two, get one free. Like, there'll be lots of things that are even better than that. But all buy two, get one free. All hooks are buy two, get one free. We'll have fluorocarbon, buy one, get one free.
That is crazy.
It's just awesome. It's the time to score your deal of the year on stuff. And then
you guys don't carry off brand fluorocarbon, are you kidding me?
First run. It's AFTCO, it's Seagar, it's all
Come
the bits, it's Sunline. It's all the best of it. And we're really pumped. It's going to be a great day. And we got Cory.
And I'll be there with a table. And as I mentioned a week or two ago, I'm bringing,
dude, I hope you're ready for this,
7-inch split tail slugs. And I'll try to make some other slug stuff too. But the shop does the buy two, get one free.
Right.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah, no, you're right. Buy two, get one free.
The reason I'm confused is because I'm adding to it.
Yes.
So if you do the buy two, get one free, I'm throwing in a free one too. So you're buy two, get two.
I love this.
I mean,
and on the
ridiculous.
What I think is so cool about you doing that is that was on the hottest lure of yours that we had this year. The common sense would be to take an item that is slow and we haven't moved a whole lot of, and do the killer deal on that one. That reduces inventory and it makes a sale and you can move everything, but that's not it. The split tail slug, you'll hear people call it the fluke
style.
It is overwhelmingly was our most popular because of that insane sea bass fishing that we talked about at Cedros this year, and because of that insane sea bass fishing we talked about with Jason and Jamie, all the channel line, like that has kind of transformed how we fish shallow water sea bass.
Insane.
That jig was the most popular thing we sold this year, and that's the one that you're going to get the extra special deal. All of them will be buy two, get one free.
Why not?
So your Viejos and your 5-inch swimmers and all your weedless and your surf fishing baits and your standard slugs, all of that, if you're stocking up for your trip, is buy two, get one free. But the hottest jig we had, those flukes, will be buy two, get two.
And it just amazes me, Rick. I've made that thing for 20 years. Somewhere in there. 20 years. Yeah. 20 years. And
we trickle.
Yeah, right.
A couple get sold here and there.
There's guys that are onto it.
Yeah, our regular calico guys on the Dolphin, they all love it. We sell a handful.
Yeah. But not like
this year.
No.
Thousands.
Forget it.
Yeah.
And it's important to mention, because I'm a one-man operation, that it's limited to what I'm bringing.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a lot, but it's limited to what I'm bringing. And I'm making colors. I've already made colors, Rick.
Oh, dude, I'm pumped.
That are so different.
I'm pumped.
They're all, how do I describe it? Pearl's the color. How many variations of pearl can you make? Well, I've already got 7 or 8 of them.
Oh, I love it.
Your mind will be blown.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It'll be fun. Tackle Day is November
the 1st.
Okay, Saturday.
First Saturday in November. Yeah, it's going to be a great day and a great sale and a great raffle. And we do a huge raffle every year. All of our friends, we reach out for raffle prizes. Anybody out there that's listening, you want to throw something in the raffle, we'd love it. We sell the raffle tickets and then we give the money to Friends of Rollo. It's just an awesome day, and I hope everybody comes down to join us.
So if I want to buy a reel, I heard you mention reels and Spectra. If I want to purchase,
heard what I said.
Let's just say a Tranks, and I want to have Spectra put on there. Do I have choice of Spectra? Can I get Power Pro?
It's Tackle Day. You get to make the call. It's Spectra of your choice. The way that the free Spectra works is every $1 that you spend, you get a free yard of Spectra. So if you buy a $300 reel, you get 300 yards of Spectra. You buy a $500 reel, you get 500 yards of Spectra. That's for free. If you use a reel that you spent $300 on and it takes $400 to fill it up, we just charge you with that last week at a ridiculously inexpensive amount, just enough to cover basically enough for us to cover our costs. So we don't go too far backwards.
But I'm thinking in my head, I mean, almost any bass reel I'd by would, I mean, the dollar per yard would fill it.
That's a great system because it pretty much
Fills
covers
it.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the rare occasion that it doesn't, it usually takes less than $20 to get it there. And the reason we do that is so that we're not going and giving away some off-brand braid that nobody wants to use.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
You make the call. If you want Power Pro, great. If you want Max Quattro, Depth Hunter, changing every 100 feet because you bought a new TAC 20, well, then that's what you get. Like,
Rick, I'm looking forward to it.
it's going to be
man.
fun, man.
November
Yeah.
1st.
You got it, buddy. Hey, well, with that said, we're going to find out what's going on the water. It is time for our catch report, Corey. We got the Anglers Realtor standing by.
And it's brought to us by the Fish Pros of Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. It's where you get your premier processing experience. You can check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. And with more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by the location in Old Town. They're right there on Taylor Street, or you can check them out at fishermansprocessing.com. And don't forget to make your reservations today. And good morning, Yusuf.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Yo.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great. Yeah, excellent, buddy. It was a tough week of weather, but I know some good fishing in between. We had fun talking with Danny from Fish Dope yesterday, and that was always filling in for Mark's report, so that was fun. Yeah, sounds like there's some highlights still to be had.
There is. It's been pretty windy the past couple days, and we got a little bit more coming. But prior to that, the fishing was pretty good. At Caverns and Three Sisters, not a ton of action, obviously, with the wind. Santa Monica Bay area, there is still some calico bass, bonita, and short barracuda around. SCI, there was, prior to this these storms, the yellowtail was still biting good. Same deal. Just before sunrise, for about an hour, and they were chewing, and as soon as that sun comes up, they're gone. Catalina, the same deal as Clemente. Basically, there's a ton of bass and barracuda and bonita on the front side with some smaller yellowtail. Backside has been pretty darn good with the yellowtail prior to this weather. There is a lot of lobster fishermen in the area, so keep an eye out for that. Local fishing hasn't been great as far as La Jolla goes and San Diego area. Fish kind of been down. Islands has been pretty good. It picked back up. Most of the stuff is between the islands and the rock pile areas. Better grade of fish too that they were catching. Outside the islands, just the other day, there was a good spot of tuna, 20 to 200 pounds. It was about 3 to 5 miles west of North Island.
Sick. How sick is that?
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's been pretty much the best tuna fishing in the area right now. Going to go back up to Clemente, the snail area, 7-Eleven. There's also some pretty decent fishing up there. Most of the stuff's been caught in the troll. Ghost poppers and Colt snipers, stick bait kind of casting. These are smaller fish, like around 30 pounds. Cortez and Tanner, also before the blow started, was doing pretty well. They're smaller class fish, like 20 pounders, but they were showing up and they were thick. A new little spot of fish that they found, sizable area, was around the Condiment. 267, we had a report of a guy out there. He said there's big spot of fish. And that's all I got for you today.
Whew.
Hopefully this coming storm.
I was just going to say, Yusuf, if that's the report we have with significant weather, give us a shot. We got a day or two to get through here with a little bit of wind and a little bit of swell, but boy, the latter part of the week looks fantastic. Going into next weekend looks really good. So I think we got a lot of good in front of us.
Definitely do. I think we're going to get some fake summer here before we fall into winter, and hopefully we'll crush some tuna in the meantime.
Love it, man. Well, we appreciate that. What's going on in the real estate world? I know you've been very busy, and a lot's starting to happen here with rates starting to move.
We are. I'm launching 2 new listings today. I've got 2 listing appointments today. It's moving, man. The interest rate is fluctuating. A lot of people are trying to get in right now before we have some major drops because it is going to drive prices up. So
you're thinking about listing soon, start prepping that property.
Right.
And especially if you want to move, it'll be a really good time to basically move up and get a good price for your home and still get a decent price on the new home that you're trying to buy.
And you've talked about that on the show in the past too. If that's something that's in the back of your mind that you're wanting to start to explore, like you said, you can, somebody can contact you. You guys can start working together because the things that are worth making the improvements on to your property before we go. Hey, you're going to spend X amount of money to get this right, but you'll likely see this Y in return. Hey, you don't need to worry about that. That's going to be on its own. No reason to spend the extra money on this because it's not going to be worth it for you. But that's the level of service that you provide.
Definitely. I just took one over in East Lake from an agent that had it on market for 100 days. The thing just needed baseboards and flooring downstairs. Put that in. Got it into escrow in 3 days for $60,000 more than it was listed for prior.
Dude, there you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And you provide that service to all of your customers.
100%. And I can, even if you don't use me, I'll come over and give you an evaluation. We'll talk, and you can decide whether you want to use me or not. But I'll give you the nuggets that you need to get moving.
That's awesome stuff. And then you're going to be on the mind in the background. And then when it does make sense for them to make the next move, they know that this was a dude that had said exactly what he said. He was honest. They wasn't worried about cashing a paycheck and taking the first offer that came our way. Like everybody that's in our extended family that's done business with you says nothing but the best things, buddy. And we sure appreciate that. And we appreciate a great report. If somebody wants to take advantage of all of the stuff you do, how do we find you?
You can get me on my cell phone at 619-277-2169. You can find me online at sportsmansrealty.com. You can also get me on social media at Cal Realty. If you'd like a home evaluation, you can get me at SoCalHomeEval.com. Put in your address. We kick you out a report.
That's it, man. No strings attached. Great job, Joseph. Appreciate it as always. And we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate that very much, buddy. And if you want to keep in touch with those great fishing reports, find out what's biting up and down the beach, find out weather, find out pertinent information, they do such a great job at fishdope.com. And you can save $30 off of a new fishdope.com membership using the code HOOKUPNOW. All lowercase, no space. Hookup Now saves you $30 on your next new membership. Hey, had a great text from our buddy Eric Sheets wanting us to know in terms of Tackle Day. He says he will be at Tackle Day donating his time to the Friends of Rollo booth. So not only can you go down, see the boys at Friends of Rollo, participate in all of the great things they do. There's always a great sale. I know a lot of years in the past, Mike Lum has done the Pick a Box, which is always a very fun one, where you pick a tackle box. You do not know what's in the box.
But if it's a $25 value or if it's a $125 value,
you always win.
You're going to get it $25 worth.
No matter what, you win. You're getting something that's at or better than whatever the value you're buying. They'll also be selling grand raffle tickets, and the freaking real guru of the world, Eric Sheets, will also be there to hand you your prize and probably talk tackle and talk gear changes and swaps for your Talica or blueprinting your next reel, whatever it might be. So very cool. And he even mentioned that he's going to bring some Cal's custom-built reel gift certificates for that Friends of Rollo raffle. So anyways, we're excited to see Eric, and that'll be fun. Speaking of text, we had another text come through from our man, from Hanby. Jeff, who's so awesome to work with. Jeff on the fan is our engineer on the studio side.
I have to laugh for a minute.
Please.
Because the boys during the day have nicknamed him.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
The Hanbino.
Okay. The great. I love it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Jeff's awesome.
It's such a pleasure to have Jeff on our side on 97.3 The Fan. The early morning weekend shift, I'm sure, at The Fan is no one's favorite. And Jeff is and Kyle as well. We have such a good team here at Let's Talk Hookup. But anyways, we really, really appreciate Jeff and everything he does for us. His question, Corey, was about lobsters. What part of San Diego is best for lobster hunting, and where would a novice look to get rolling?
Oh, my gosh. You're asking me in San Diego Bay. If I gave you the answer of anywhere, it would...
It's not a wrong answer.
It's not a wrong answer. Like anywhere... Well, structure is one of the things, but you don't have to have structure.
Right.
I can tell you if I purchased an ambush net and wanted to go catch a lobster, I could go from Shelter Island, Harbor Island, the pier.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally frisbee that thing into 15 feet of water off the rocks. You're going to get one.
Yeah.
I mean, it might take a few pulls.
Yeah, good bait, good area right now, early in the season, no doubt.
If you have a boat and you want to go get them, I'll tell you from the best area would be from the Coronado Bridge to the mouth of San Diego Bay.
That stretch.
That 25 to 40 feet of water.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to go wrong anywhere.
And that's so well to be said. Zuniga Jetty on paper looks great. There's big rocks and there's big craters and and tons of lobsters get caught there. So I'm not saying it like that's a bad spot to be.
But it gets me fired up.
But that's the magnet also that draws a ton of people to.
Here's
described a great thing. Like in between that bridge and the mouth of the bay, there's tons of area where there are not people. Find a nice little stretch that you have to your own.
Tons.
Steve Loomis, who was my favorite person that ever ran our boats at the landing, always said like he used to always say that he would rather have 100% of a decent bite than to have 10% of a wide open one.
Yes.
You know, and that's what you can find. Just sneak away, get yourself down the bay a little bit. Find a nice little stretch of clean water, get all your hoops in a row. You can efficiently manage your gear. You can start to pick it apart because you're going to get to move your hoops based on where you want them, not based on, well, there's too crowded over there. If I go any farther south, I'm going to be butting into that guy. That's a little too much. I'd love to be a little more shallow, but somebody's already hooping in there. Like, you know, you get hooping around all those guys. You just can't make any adjustments. You just have to give what it gives you.
Here's a good way to lay it out. Go off Harbor Island or Shelter Island. Set 3 of them in 25 feet of water.
Yeah.
Set 3 and out in 35 feet of water, put 3 or 4 out in 40 or 50.
Yeah, just on the edge of the channel.
Right on the edge of the channel. They crawl in that open area there. Like you're going to get one. I promise you.
Yeah. And maybe you're going to get the one that's been crawling there for a few years instead of one that just made it over legal size. Get some of those 5-pounders like Sherm was talking about.
You mentioned Zuniga. It gets me so fired up because that jetty has been there since like 1906 or something in there. The Army Corps of Engineers put it there. Nothing. I don't think anything's changed on there in the 45 years that I've had my existence fishing it, and it produces.
Generations of bugs have lived and died in that thing. Like
there's the wall is not a wall. The wall is cavernous. It goes all the way through. So there's places holding bugs in there. I mean, think of the rock on the outside and the inside. There might be 50 feet.
Yeah.
60 feet of cavernous holes for them.
That nothing will ever get to that big bad 8-pounder's just been chilling in there his whole life.
It gets me fired up.
I love it, dude.
It's a lot of fun. Talk about getting fired up. We've got a whole other segment on Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to be taking your calls, texts, and more when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and that 97.3 The Fan.
Here's the hot tip on the best fishing LA has to offer. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. They are home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnight on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and 3/4-day trips on the Sea Angler. For your own private charter, we have the Outrider and True Line available. There's always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or on the web at 22ndstreet.com.
A top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limit, Elgato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Saturday, November 1st, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We don't hold back on this one. Spectacular savings on a huge assortment of saltwater tackle. Over 20 tackle manufacturers reps. Join our free casting contest, amazing seminars, a huge raffle benefiting Rollo's kids. Saturday, November 1st.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast Series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG Series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at Fine Tackle Dealers.
Seasoned long-range fishermen know that the Red Rooster 3 is the finest fishing vessels in terms of technology, design, speed, comfort, and safety. This 105-foot sport fishing yacht meets every demand for comfort while delivering an unforgettable fishing vacation. Captain Andy Cates and crew are experienced, friendly, and sincere in their desire to help you have the trip of a lifetime. Book a trip on the Red Rooster 3, and you'll be back. Trips go fast, so check redrooster3.com or call Lee Palm Sport Fisheries at 619-224-3857.
Take a closer look at the Ford F-150. You'll see hard work, a great adventure, and so much more. Inside and out, it's designed for the family, the road trip, and the most demanding job. The 2025 Ford F-150, whether it's gas, hybrid, or the all-electric Lightning, find the truck that will meet your needs. From California's best-selling truck brand, the 2025 Super Duty, the rugged Ford Ranger, and the versatile Ford Maverick, it's time to see Ford in a new light. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer today to see the great selection across the full truck lineup.
All right. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And Rick, so much fun, man. Just sharing good stories and fun and just free form and Rock Hot Rick. And yeah, if you want to join us, giving away a full day trip on the Liberty, and callers, texters have been full, and
yeah, we're actually doing a full day trip on the Mission Bell today.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, all good. Captain Cameron, we're stoked on that. Point Loma Sport Fishing, little full day action. And man, you know what? Talk about another great spot. We've been talking about it a lot lately, but I got an opportunity to go in again this week. Charlie's Landing over at C4 Sport Fishing.
Did you go over there?
Dude, that smash burger.
Did you go for the smash burger?
It's so good. So
come on.
I had like a sample slider years ago, and that's what everybody keeps talking about, and went in for lunch the other day. Saw the boys over at the C4 Tackle store. It is, dude, it's so good.
Rick?
It's like a hidden best burger spot San Diego status. It's really, really good, dude.
When he was in here and described the fries.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I mean, a smash burger's badass, man. Like, but the homemade pickles.
Tell me how those guys do is legit.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And it's not just that. I mean, it is going to turn into like a favorite local lunch spot. But if you're a private boat guy like I am that does most of your fishing out of Mission Bay, which is me, like we keep our boat at Dana Landing, you can call in your breakfast to go order and have that killer chorizo burrito waiting for you, because they're as close as you could be to the Mission Bay bait receiver. So while you're putting the boat in the water, call in your breakfast order, maybe even call in a to-go lunch, swing over, get your bait, slide up to the dock at C4 Sport Fishing, grab your gear, away you go.
And it's so friendly right there at Seafort. There's always a spot to bump up the bow, or, just side tie for a few minutes and go up and get that, or drop off your passenger. And if you're going on one of their trips and you're holding a ticket, right? I mean, if you're going fishing, going whale watching, even, if you're holding a ticket for that, first beer,
tell me,
are you kidding me? $1?
That's my favorite deal. Yeah. You get, any ticket on any trip, first beer is $1 with any entree.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're good people for sure. So it's certainly the spot to check out, whether it be the Charter Master catered meals that we talked about to cover your whole crew, or just going and getting a smash burger and a beer for $1. It's a great spot. Charlie's Landing, right next to C4 Sport Fishing. Another thing I wanted to mention coming up, the CCA golf tournament. Big deal. Our buddy Uncle Al has been campaigning, talking all about it. It's October the 24th in Costa Mesa. It's a great CCA fundraiser. It's for the Orange County chapter. It's one of their biggest fundraisers. A really, really fun time. It's a best ball scramble, so you do not need to be good at playing golf to have a great time. And all of the money obviously goes to CCA, and a great event. If you want more information, check out the events tab on the CCA Cal website. But it's the CCA Golf Tournament, October 24th. A great time for sure. Phone lines are absolutely packed. Corey, let's jump right back into them.
How about that? And a very patient Hills, the one and only Hills from Ventura. Good morning.
What's up, Hills?
Woo! I love this show, you guys. The freeform show is so much fun. Captain Cameron, I was hanging out with a good buddy of his, Greg, who used to own Ventura Landing. He's a lobster fisherman, and he's friends with Brian also. They're all good buddies, big lobster fishermen. He was saying that prices are down, and part of it is because they export almost all of it, and there's like a different sort of duties now and stuff like that. But in any case, I was
the show yesterday was so amazing because, you know, I love Channel Islands, Santa Cruz and Santa Rosa and all that. But if you guys want to go, it is the Galapagos of California, like Jamie said. It's ridiculous. When I was a kid, we used to sneak on there because we had a boat and could sail out there. There were sheep. All the sheep ate everything. Now there's no sheep, no pigs, and it is it's all lush, and it's like there's moss and trees hanging over from the cliffs. There's a cave at the west end. You can actually drive a smaller boat inside the cave, and there's sea lions in there going, oh,
I love it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
How
And
cool.
but anyways, thank you guys for the show and the show yesterday. Those guys are so cool. I've talked to Jamie on the phone before, but God, Jason, he's a firecracker. That dude is so stoked.
And he's been that way his whole life too, Hills. That's a thing, you know, and he's passionate about fishing. And
what you could really tell was it wasn't a show. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't a show he put on for the radio. You can tell like that guy is that passionate about what he does. Hills, thanks for the phone call, man. That was great. I couldn't agree more. That was really, really fun to talk about, and what a cool area. And I'll just be totally honest. It's just an area that I'm just frankly not familiar with. And I loved it. I want to get a lot more familiar with fishing up there. And I'm looking forward to fishing at a Santa Barbara Landing with those guys, because that everything that they describe is so up my alley. And it's just not something I've had in my bag of tricks, and I can't wait to go.
And he described the captains, right? Rick, Sal, and Rafa.
Right.
They're silent assassins, man. I'm
that.
telling you, like Rafa is an up and coming, like I say up and coming because I'm an older dude, right? But he's been there. He's already been up and coming.
That's cool.
He's a really, really, really good fisherman.
I love it. Well, let's jump back into those phones, Cory.
Let's do that. How about Chuck? Chuck home from Dana Point. Good morning, Chuck.
What's up, Chuck?
Good morning, you guys. I can't wait for Gunny to get on. Nobody will be able to call in. He'll talk the whole time, right?
I hope so.
Good information.
You know, Ortega's been closing me out going over to Dana Wharf, so we kept reading about the new Seaforth down there. And you're always talking about how good the La Jolla kelp bed is. And we went down there half days. We went 5 weeks in a row. We got hooked on that thing. We probably cast 100 times, caught so many fish, so many keepers, throwing them back. And what a good vibe down there. We really liked that new Seaforth. That was really great.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
I'm not giving up on Wooly, but you know, and you know, the rock fishing, we're jig people, right? Me and my three boys, and we'll triple up down there and take pictures of 3 bass that came over at the same time, or double up, we call it, if there's 2. And, you know, that's just great. But for rock fishing, that rip roller, if you're a jig guy like us, that's so fun, dude. And you get the big ones with them. And that new line, the thinner line with less line drag, man, that opens up rock fishing to a whole new game.
That's a
It's
whole new deal for sure, man.
Oh, I love it.
That's it.
So,
Well, Chuck,
great show, you guys. Always love it.
Appreciate it very
And
much,
you know,
bro.
Cory,
Thanks for the kind words. Had a great text for this morning. Good morning, guys. These free from shows are always so much fun. Thanks for sharing all the knowledge. I have a bass question for Cory. If you're going to hit San Diego Bay for big spotties during this fall and winter, what areas do you like to target, and what are you throwing? Can't wait to see you at Tackle Day to pick up whatever you recommend. That's from Cory in Escondido.
Yeah, man. San Diego Bay, big spotties. There are some. I mean, at San Diego Bay, there definitely are some big ones in San Diego Bay, but it's the land of like 9 to 12 inchers. I mean, if you want to take a child and just have a good time, we talked about surf fishing, but the back of San Diego Bay is so full of like 11, 12, 13 inchers. There's so many back there. You can a 50 fish day is no problem. If you want a big one, they're around the structure and the pylons right here in the basin right here, Rick, that we're overlooking.
Right.
There are a lot of 2-pounders, you know, 1.5 to 3 pounders. 3 pounders a golden guppy.
That's a
big
holy
one.
grail.
That's a big one. And I know some of the tournament guys have done really well in on the other side of Shelter Island, like Kona Kai and that whole
in between all the moorings and the docks and the pilings and
there's
rocks and
there's sunken stuff
Sure.
and you know dock floats that have sunk out and There's all kinds of structure down
Totally.
there. Yeah, and it holds all those big ones. Mission Bay is a place. I hate to give it up for those that enjoy it. I enjoy it there. There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, a lot of big ones.
A lot of 2-pounders.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And nothing. We always joke when you were fishing in the bay, you get a bite like, oh man, it's good fish. Well, that's always our joke. Well, I either have a 3-pound sand bass or I've got a legal or a sub-legal spotty. They're voracious. They pull hard. The one thing I know is I just have trouble not being like overboard about it. You make the best of what there is in every size. I fish a ton. I grew up fishing, I know you call it a 2.5 inch.
It's a skinny 3 inch.
Yeah, exactly. We call it the 3 inch skinny at the shop.
But I went to call it 2.5 just to
differentiate
between the 3
inch.
Yeah,
totally.
exactly. Yeah.
That thing on an 1/8 ounce lead head will get you bites everywhere you go.
Yes.
Whenever the condition, whatever the condition, anything. That is the number for me. That is the number one get a bite lure of everything that you make. That on a little darter head, it's a little bait fish.
From Barrett to the Bay.
Yeah, for real.
Seriously.
However, Corey's question being, what's your best bet for big ones? My biggest spotties have all been incidental catches while we were trying to catch sand bass. And we try to catch sand bass in a little bit deeper water, associated tight to structure, fishing a bait that's 5 inches or larger. Caught a lot of my biggest spotties have been on a 7-inch Viejo trying to catch a big sand bass.
I've caught them on 8-inch slugs before.
I believe it.
Like they'll eat it. The largest one I ever caught was 4 1/4. Oh my God. Big one.
What?
That was on a creature bait that I made at night on the Long Beach wall.
Crazy.
Yes.
4 1/4.
4 1/4 legit.
How does that even look like?
I know.
And how did it not rock you? You think a 4-pounder is going to get you into whatever it's living around.
We weighed it. That was not a part of our tournament weight. It was during a tournament. We had, I don't remember the exact weight, 35 point something pounds.
Crazy.
For 5 fish.
Crazy.
8.5 pound sand bass was part of the limit.
Oh my God.
And listen, you ready for this? 35-pound limit. And we were in 3rd place.
Jeez.
Yes. There was like 38 pounds. I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Nighttime.
Rad. The conditions were right.
Yes.
And the big fish was biting.
4 1/4 pound spotty.
I would love to see something that big. That's crazy.
They're Cabrilla.
Yeah,
style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a pinto bass.
But a 3-pounder is a guppy.
No doubt.
The golden guppy.
That's the one. Hey, appreciate the text very much. Corey, you had a good text you were saying standing by, right?
I do. Yeah. There's so many good ones coming through, Rick. And it's been such a fun morning and having a good time. And I want to take it to tuna direction, Rick. Okay.
All right.
Good morning, guys. Open format, one of my favorite shows. Question concerning daisy chains. Never really fished with them. What's the principle behind them? How is the rigging set up? And what do you recommend as far as who makes the best one? Any specific colors, shapes, or patterns? And that comes from, says thank you, and it's Kurt in Vista.
Kurt, I think local fishing out here, one of the very best get a jig strike lures you could troll is one of those cedar plug daisy chains. And I think they're fantastic. And there's plenty of people that make them. I like the one from the Ahi company, which is an offshoot of Promar. And it comes rigged well. I think they do a good job with their rigging. They rig it out of the package with heavy fluorocarbon and appropriate hook. For me, their stock rigging is a little bit long. I like to take the thing and cut it apart and re-rig it exactly the same way, just in a slightly shorter version that just makes it easier as the angler to deal with. I for our type of tuna fishing, for school size tuna, anytime you can get away from having a crew member having to hand over hand wire the fish to the boat, I always like to avoid that. So I like that a little bit more streamlined. And for me, it doesn't need to get crazy. There are 2 ways that you can rig a daisy chain. Everything directly in line so that you put like a little stop on your main line, and your cedar plug or your feather or whatever you're chaining will then hit that stop and makes a straight line. The other thing is to use branch lines. And so imagine, you put your little stopper in the same place, but you'll use a double barrel crimp, and you put one side of the main line through one piece of the barrel. Then you take a second piece of line, you burn the end so it mushrooms up, and you put that on the other side of the double barrel crimp. crimp that to the line, and then run your cedar plug off of that. And it then kind of springs the lure outward, and they flop a little more, make a little more commotion. Maybe
I can see it, Rick, because you're not having it streamlined,
exactly
aquadynamic, and that aquadynamic motion gives it
a little more flop, a little more commotion. Now, one of the reasons that cedar plugs get bit so good is because they've got that natural path through the water, snaking around, because they're a blunt end and the water just finds its own path over the lead and by the wood.
And I think they're weighted unequally as well.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I think that there are pros and cons to both. And there's definitely not a book like, oh, they get bit better if they're branched off, or they get bit worse if they're done this way. Like, they both certainly work. And those would be a little way of experimenting and playing with that.
It's a great private boat.
Oh God.
deal.
For getting jig bites.
Yeah.
One of the very best.
And it could be a 15, 20 pound yellowfin, or it could be a 150 pound bluefin. Like, they all eat it.
That's it. And when we've done a lot of that, there's some of our big hitter 4-pack charter boats come in every year, and they want a cedar plug daisy chain that's rigged so that you could catch a cow on it. We do some different things. Like, we have some very heavy duty Blue Marlin style trolling hooks that are needle eye, that don't have a traditional round eye, and they're done so that we can make a wired hook set and still keep it real streamlined, but they fit inside of a cedar plug. So imagine a very heavy duty forged style tuna hook, but inside of your cedar instead of a 3407 that's kind of a skinny wire. So we do some modifications. We'll rig them on 150 or 200 pound fluorocarbon, and those guys have had those real big ones. Fishing it the same way you'd fish a Mad Mac or Marauder. Long ways off the rod, real clean water, and we've seen a lot of high 100 and even 200 pounders caught on those cedar plug chains. Just modified the rigging a little bit.
I hope that helps Kurt. Maybe,
but
because that's some great information.
Yeah.
Rick, I want to read one more before the end of the show, and the reason I want to read this, it describes how blessed we are and where we live.
Can't wait to hear it.
And how prolific our fishery is here. And this comes from Cliff in Blossom Valley. And Cliff writes this one. It's a little long, but it's so special. I got to read it. Hey, guys, I love this free format show. These past 3 weeks, you got to remember, all this is in the past 3 weeks. I've been incredible with his son and getting a 145 pound bluefin near the 302.
Congratulations.
After a 2-hour battle on a tranks with a stick bait. How about that? Kind of cool, right? Brutalized.
That's a brutal one. I've been there. That's a tough one.
And they had 7 yellowtail over 25 pounds last week, really close to Mission Bay. Doesn't want to give up the spot.
What a day.
Right?
Nor should he.
Right, exactly. 7 yellowtail over 25 pounds last week, really close to Mission Bay. 3 lobster nights of limits, 42 lobsters.
Jeez.
Right? Woohoo! With some being big ones. And for lobstering, I've used many light options, and the Promar electric lights are the new setups. Really simple, light and bright. It's just complimenting the Promar light system. Yeah. And thanks for all the great info, he says. But I brought that up just because that's the last 3 weeks.
That's happening right now.
Right now. Yeah. Like, this is where we live.
I dig it. And it's cool. We sometimes take it for granted of all of this show was a perfect example of all the cool stuff there is to do. I would have never thought that the main topic of today would be lobsters. You know what I mean? We
no idea.
Yeah, and that's what's going on right now. Like, there's so much cool stuff that you just never know what it's going to be, and it's a good example that there's so much cool stuff happening right now.
3 lobster nights with his son and 42 lobsters altogether, right?
That's getting after it.
145 pound bluefin and 7 yellowtail outside of Mission Bay.
Break out the butter.
I know it. Is that squid stuff still happening on the coast? Is that a combination with that yellow?
There definitely is squid on the coast, both at the outer islands and on the coast. The coastal squid hasn't had as much game fish on it as it sometimes does in other years, but it absolutely is still around, both for a shot at catching game fish and then catching that bait and transferring it somewhere else to then fish with it and maybe catch halibut or fish the kelp line or whatever.
Such a fun show. It's a beautiful place we live. We're going to be right back on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, and at 97.3 The Fan.
Enter into fall with powerful deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Fall into Savings sales event. From now until December 8th, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 30 to 450 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of coverage protection plus up to $500 in dealer credit for 150 to 450 horsepower outboards. Looking for lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new eligible Yamaha 2.5 to 25 horsepower outboard and receive up to $700 in dealer credit. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends December 8th, 2025. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude 24 or 36-month Yamaha extended service contract added to factory limited warranty. Choice offer to Florida residents is a 24 or 36-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Lobster season is here, and success starts with the right gear. And no one does it better than Promar. Based in SoCal, Promar's Ambush Series hoop nets and accessories are trusted by the most dedicated lobster fishermen on the coast. If you're a serious lobster fisherman or a beginner, Promar makes the gear and shares the information you need to be successful on the water. Promar, the name behind more lobster limits than any other. Visit PromarIE.com to gear up today.
If you're into saltwater fishing, Saturday, November 1st, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We don't hold back on this one. Spectacular savings on a huge assortment of saltwater tackle. Over 20 tackle manufacturers reps teaching and showing the latest product. Join our free casting contest and show your surface iron casting skill. Amazing seminars by some of top names in the business. A huge raffle benefiting Rollo's kids. It's our biggest sale of the year. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, accessories, and more. Saturday, November 1st.
Hi, my name is Chris Webb, and I'm one of the owners of Nature Fed Beef Company. We've started Nature Fed to bring families the highest quality beef that you can get in Southern California. Did you know when you buy ground beef at the store, it can contain hundreds, if not thousands, of different cows? All our cows are pasture raised and pasture finished. They roam and graze on green grass miles away from any freeways, assuring low levels of cortisol and some of the best meat quality that you can get. These animals are raised in God's country, in the Klamath Basin and just outside of Corning, California. We sell our cow shares in quarters, half, and full cows. This gives you a cut from every piece of the cow, and all the meat you buy comes from the same cow. We deliver it right to your door, packaged and ready for your freezer. Let's Talk Hookup listeners can enjoy $250 off any beef order with the code Hookup. Give us a call at 619-324-3555 to order, or visit naturefedbeef.com. $250 off any beef order with the code Hookup. Visit naturefedbeef.com.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost, but not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me, book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Rick, I'm flipping the coin. You ready?
Let's see it. Mission Bell, full day trip.
Flipped a couple times right there, but it does go to a caller, and that's Hills in Ventura.
Hey, congratulations,
right?
Hills.
Yeah,
great
full day trip on the Mission Bell, man.
Yeah, and they've been having some great fishing, and you're going to get to go participate in that, and appreciate it very much. Corey, these are my favorite times, getting to hang out, talk fishing, just have fun, just do what we do. And
dude, I'm going home making 7-inch flukes for tackle day.
I think you got a lot to make, dude. It's going to be a lot of fun. And man, we have a couple of great shows coming for you next weekend as well. Next Saturday, if you want to talk surface iron, we have the guys in the studio, Jerry Guzman from JRI Lures and Danny Wade, surface iron expert extraordinaire. They have a brand new jig that they are debuting, the DW3. So we'll be talking a lot about that. I can tell you I got to see one. It's fantastic. So it'll be really fun to
Will we have that at Tackle Day?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. And if we do, it'll be buy 2, get 1 free. He's another guy just like you, threw in a little extra. There's going to be some buy 2, get 2 deals there.
Bring it on.
So that'll be fun. And then another great one next Sunday, Captain Benny Florentino from Coastal Charters, as well as Maddie Florentino from Salty Crew. So that'll be another great show. Hey, we really appreciate you listening. Next Saturday and Sunday, we'll be here live on Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California Sport Fishing Voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook and YouTube Live, as well as 97.3 The Fan. Big thanks to Jeff for keeping us on the air. Big thanks to Adam for keeping us on the app.
WFN HD1 San Diego.
This is Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres.
Machado with his second double.
Have a good one, boys. Braves play here on San Diego's #1.